All right, if you are watching live, and I see two people are watching live. We are going to be watching the Apple event today on the Church Creative channel, and I'm going to have with me a special guest that Jason Elwert and I have worked together for a number of years. And anytime I've got a question about new technology that's coming out, or advice on how to get something done in an unconventional way, this is the guy that I think of. And so I'm going to switch over here and bring Jason in, play a little theme music for Jason. That's an appropriate welcome for Jason. So let's switch over, get Jason in here. There we go. Welcome, Jason. Thanks
Nice.
for taking the time.
I like it.
How you
Hey,
like that?
yeah, thanks, Larry. I love it.
Good.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to parse what you said. You said that whenever you have some difficult or challenging projects, you come to me. So are you saying that I am your garbage man? I'm taking out your trash
No,
for
no,
you.
no,
What are
no.
you
You're
saying?
no, you're my clutch man. You're the clutch man. I almost said
I like it.
anytime I need to figure out a way to hack something, I call Jason, but that wasn't good either. So
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
just a
say it that
hack.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
No,
No,
that's
no.
okay.
I'm the hack. You're
Thanks
the
for
pro.
having me. This is exciting. Yeah. No, I'm not the pro. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to do this the last Apple event. Do you remember that? I use
Yeah.
streaming
Yeah.
software called Ecamm, and love the software. But they had, I think the only time I've ever heard of it, they had a nationwide outage with their service, and it
Yeah.
coincided with
Yeah.
that event. So we had you,
Perfect timing.
we had Jillian Morin who was going to join us then, and we just ended up doing we used Zoom and just chatted about it.
Hmm.
And I recorded some of that. I was going to air some of it, just never did it, and kind of time got away, and it didn't seem relevant afterwards, so I didn't post it. But this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So
No, we get
Jason went through and he
it.
kind of curated some of the most common rumors that are out there now. So we thought we'd take a couple minutes before the Apple event gets started and just talk about those. So where should we start?
Well, I mean, everybody's waiting for the iPhone, so I think we start with the iPhone, right? Here's my question to you, Larry. Is it going to be called the iPhone 13, or are they just going to disband the numbers like they do with the Macs? Is it just going to be iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Well,
think?
they did. Was iOS and iPad OS was 13, wasn't it? They did 13, and then 14 is out now.
It, but there aren't any devices named 13,
It's true. That's
right?
true. Because, and that's kind of
And the
a,
only
what were you going to say?
I said the only reason I'm thinking to dump the 13, everybody think it's an unlucky number, and especially in some of the other countries, it is especially unlucky
Yeah.
for superstitious people. But um, it's a good time to dump it and just to say, hey, it's the latest iPhone, 2021
Hmm.
iPhone, 2022 iPhone. But I
Yeah.
also can see them continue on. Who knows? Maybe they come up and they just jump right to 20 like Samsung. But my guess is they won't do that.
Yeah,
They want
that's
to
a
be
pretty big
different, right?
leap. That's a pretty big leap. I think I can get
Yeah.
comments on here. I need to turn the comments on so we can see if anybody's commenting. I'm going to switch to your camera for a minute.
Okay.
Talk about
Yeah.
some of the key things you're looking for here, and while I figure out how to get the comments on here. Let's
Yeah, no
see.
problem. So I think some of the things that I'm looking forward to and hoping that they have is one would be really cool is a touchless ID or Touch ID that's in screen. So essentially, basically, you have like a Samsung phone or any of those new Android devices that have fingerprint reader right on the screen itself. I think that's like a moonshot. I don't know that that's going to happen. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a portless iPhone. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think that could create some challenges, especially for people that have all of the cables throughout all of their houses and their vehicles. Now you have to have a wireless charger available, but I think there's a probability there. Um, Honestly, the biggest thing that I think I'm looking forward to is the camera, maybe better cameras. I think the cameras that Apple have are already great. But my personal opinion, since I've used all different devices, I just came from an Android device last year. I've been on the iPhone for an entire year. But my opinion is I still think there's some software stuff that Apple or Google is doing on their Android devices, that it's much better than Apple. I do think Apple Video is better than any devices out there, but I think as far as the camera is concerned, I think that they're not quite there. But it's all about preference. And I think the
Yeah.
last thing I just heard about this, Larry. I don't know if you heard about it. It's called Leo Satellite. Have you heard about
Hmm.
that?
No, no.
So basically, it's you can make a call and text without any cell signal. It basically uses satellite. I think that's
Get
another
out.
moonshot. Yeah.
So
Um,
that's like basically that's like GPS, the same
yeah.
antenna in your phone that's using GPS.
I think it's something to do with 5G. It's 5G cell towers, what I'm seeing here. Um, this is 9to5mac.com. They have an article on it. But yeah, it seems like it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, who knows
Hmm.
if that's going to be the thing or not. But all the other stuff is really minor. I'm looking forward to the new design of the Apple Watch. I think the mock-ups that I saw were more in connection or with the way that the iPhones look, more square as opposed
Hmm.
to the beveled edges and the rounded edges. So I think that would be pretty cool. AirPod 3s, really not a lot they're talking about. I mean, shorter stem,
Hmm.
rounded ear designs, maybe a better universal fit. Everybody has different ears. But they're talking that could be next year, end of the year, or even beginning of the year for that coming out. So, but you had mentioned something about Macs. So what do you think about
Yeah, I
MacBooks and
I really am wondering. The last event that we were going to do this with, I everybody. I mean, some of the two biggest names that I know of were saying in rumors that are like, I don't know, they're like 60% accurate on the rumors, which in the
Mhm,
rumor business is huge. It's almost 100% as
mhm,
far as rumors go. And they were all saying 16-inch MacBooks with the new port configuration, a native
mhm,
HDMI out and not just USB-C anymore, so you had to live in Dongle City all the time, but
mhm.
giving you MagSafe power. And I'm trying to remember, what was the other one? There was,
Is there wireless charging? Are they ever talk about wireless charging for the MacBooks? I
I
know
haven't
that would
heard any
be
rumors
a
about that, but
humongous pad, but be cool.
yeah. No, MagSafe I think would be the closest thing to that. I really don't want wireless charging for my MacBook, but I do want MagSafe. I miss those days of when my cord gets tripped
Yeah.
over, the thing doesn't go flying.
Yeah. But here's my pushback is so if I'm sitting on a desk and my desk, like I have on my desk, I have a fairly large um, trackpad or a mouse pad. If that whole thing could be wireless charging, I guess plop my MacBook on top of that, that would be pretty
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's just automatically charging and then save the other ports for hooking to HDMI, hooking to a external mouse or hooking to an external drive or whatever that might be. But I think that'd be that would be neat.
I guess I could see that. So I'm going to try this. I haven't done a whole lot with the comments before, but we got Jackie viewing, and let me see if I can get this up on the screen. Oh, I thought I misread it. I've got my MacBook is a little ways away from me because the fan is loud. I don't have an M1 yet. And
Yeah.
but Jackie's saying, yeah, I've heard of that SAT call possibility.
Yeah,
So
it's called
let's,
it's called Leo satellite communication. So
yeah.
interesting concept. I haven't heard of any devices that can do that, and it wouldn't surprise me that Apple comes up with something like this. No one knows about. All of a sudden, boom! It comes
Hmm.
into, and now just like Apple is trailblazers in some things, every phone's going to have that ability. And
Hmm.
think of the advantage of having that, right?
Yeah.
How many times are you in a spot like not to bash T-Mobile that they've ever been bashed so much with the breach they had, but I
Yeah.
have T-Mobile, and my brothers always make fun of me when we go out of town together if we're like in the mountains. T-Mobile is terrible.
Hmm.
I know they just purchased Sprint, and eventually they'll have a better network, but if you go in the mountains like Tennessee hills, good luck.
Right.
So this would be very cool to be able to make a call, or like I was up north with my daughter and son-in-law, or my daughter and son and his wife, and we're on the sand dunes, the Silver Lake sand dunes, which is amazing if you've never
Yep.
been there in
Yeah.
Michigan. And we got separated, and none of us had cell coverage
Yeah, reception there.
on
Any
the beach.
Earth-based system with towers, when you get into hills and
Hmm.
landscape, the
Yeah,
topography has a
Yeah.
huge impact. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. They're talking about the possibility of adding SD cards, HDMI, MagSafe
Oh,
power to
wow.
the new MacBooks. Yeah, those are the things, Jackie, that I am looking forward to. I've been
Hmm.
I've got some friends that have been looking. I had a guy who's a church planter. You know, this is about church tech on Church Creative here. What we're generally talking about, and he's a church planter out in California, and he is. I take that back. I think he's in Arizona, but he is. Outfitting a live streaming rig for his church, and he's got one M1 Mac Mini, but he's been holding off on getting MacBooks because he's waiting for this announcement. And I assured him that the last event back, what was that, March or April? I assured him that
Hmm.
there would be
Hmm.
MacBooks then,
June.
and man, I was eating my words on that. I had a bunch of people in the Ecamm Facebook group say, "Don't believe it till you see it," and I was like, "No, no, no, no." And sure enough, the one time the rumors didn't come through. So yeah, Jackie, that's what I'm looking for too. Let's see what else we got
So
here.
hold on. Let's go back to, I know who that is. Shout out to Brian. How you doing, Brian? Um, so my question about the SD card, Larry, how would you use the SD card? Because if I want more space on my iPhone, and you generally have the
Yeah,
ability. I saw a rumor you could get a terabyte iPhone now. This maybe we get that. But if you need that much space, why not have like you can get an external lightning cable to a US, then you could
yeah.
pop in the SD cards. I
Well,
know it's another thing to carry around, but
The SD is related to the MacBooks, I think what Jackie was saying. MacBooks with a native
oh,
SD
oh, oh,
slot. And the value for that is like what I'm doing right here. You know,
yep,
I'll switch
yep,
back to my one shot and show my room here. So this is where I do a podcast every week. So I sit here, my co-host sits over there, and I shoot this. I actually shoot into Ecamm and do record only mode, which is kind of a cool thing. That allows me to do, you know, these little production sweeps and stuff like this. And I just pressed one button on my Stream Deck and it does that versus recording straight to a card in my camera and then doing edit in, you know, some editing software afterwards. I just don't have time for that. So we do it in one take and then I just upload it. And my podcast takes me about an hour and 15 minutes every week. But
hmm
yeah, we're getting down to the wire here. But when I'm not doing the podcast, when I do like videos, we do children's church videos or we do interviews with people to show during our church services, like testimony videos. We shoot those on the cameras and then somebody does edit them afterwards. So that
yeah,
native SD slot is really important for getting stuff off the cameras. So, all right, let me size
yeah.
this down a little bit and we're gonna dial into the video. Let's see, can I do it? I locked it.
So one thing that if you are watching live, we're trying not to get banned on YouTube, so you're not going to be able to hear the pretty music. So my suggestion is if you're on a computer, to pull that live stream up and listen to us commentate as you go along.
Hmm. So by the way, I'm gonna get that going on mine so that I know what's going
Larry,
on.
have you ever been to the Infinity Circle yet? Have been able to get to the new
No, no, I
Apple?
would love to
Okay,
go. Never been. Never got to
yeah, I
Apple's
was
original
able to be
campus either.
there. Oh, I've been to both. I had an event out in San Jose, and we drove over to the new Apple facility. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So they're
So I'm
playing.
gonna see how my delay is here, and I'm trying to resize this overlay here.
I guess I could step. Is it this way? No, it's this way.
No,
There we
I'll get
go.
it resized. There you
So
go.
Brian, you are a an Android guy. What are you looking forward to seeing announced in the Apple event?
Let's
Be
see
curious to hear what
here.
you think.
So I'll play. I'm a couple comments behind. So Mr. Duff, 1979 says doing
Yeah,
awesome. Do you think
yeah.
Apple will ever change to USB Type C on the iPhone? Oh, I hope so. Actually, I think
Oh,
it's going to go away,
that's a
but
great point. Yeah, I think you figured they would have when the MacBooks came out with
yeah,
USB-C, and then the iPads came out with USB-C. I thought for sure they're going to
you
switch, but they
know,
didn't. And that's what makes me think that they're going to. The next thing is MagSafe. It's going to be 100% no ID or no Lightning port.
Yeah,
So we,
yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's an Apple Explained channel on YouTube has a great video about why they didn't make the switch from Lightning to USB ever.
mhm.
It's like a 2 minute video. I recommend checking that out. But yeah,
Yeah,
that I think you're right. I think it's going to go to no port and MagSafe only. That's pretty much how I charge anyways now. I never use my Lightning port.
same for me. I wonder if they would offer like a special no port to kind of test it out.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be that hard for them to do that, to take that away. And think of how much you probably get some extra space in there for battery too, right?
Hmm.
If you take away that port, you've got all the cabling and wiring and stuff. You could eventually,
Yeah.
hopefully, get a little bit more battery because everybody wants more battery.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a key. That's a key feature. So here's the Apple. They're running the Apple TV promos right now, which is always kind of like I just kind of sit through it. It's not that I don't ever watch any shows on
Yeah.
Apple TV, but plus Apple TV Plus, but that's not what I'm watching this for.
So I am watching one called it's a space one about humans, All for Humankind or something like that.
Oh, For
That's a
All
pretty good
Mankind.
one.
Yeah, I did like
For All
that.
Mankind.
It's
Yeah,
and it's
that's a
kind of
good one.
like an alternate history. It uses real people from the space race,
Exactly.
but
Yeah. Yeah, they had Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Ronald
yeah, the
Reagan and
Russians
yeah.
got there first before us in their timeline,
Hmm.
so it's how that would have developed.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we've got while we're waiting for the Apple TV Plus to run through. We got some more comments here. It's more convenient for photographers, videographers to take a photo, pull their SD card. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was
No,
thinking.
I get it. You're right, Jackie. I was thinking you were talking about the iPhone, but that makes total sense on the iPad. I
Yeah.
mean, the MacBooks. They used to have it on the MacBooks,
Hmm.
um,
My
but
last
they
one had it.
removed it. Yeah. Um, I think they were trying to slim down what ports are there, but
Yeah.
I think I got a lot of pushback because I just bought a new MacBook Pro. It has four USB-C connections. If you buy
Hmm.
a mini or the Air, I think it's only two. You get one, and so you get one charger and then one extra. It's not enough.
Right.
Even if you have a
Right.
little dongle with a hub on it, it's just not enough.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use a little, I forget what the brand name is, but a hub. Um, and it's got
Yeah.
HDMI. I'm actually using it to facilitate two cameras, an external monitor, and an audio Focusrite audio interface right now. So it does a lot,
Right.
and it's not even powered.
Right.
But I'd like that plus an SD card slot. There's an SD card slot in the
Yeah.
thing, but I'd like to be able to pull video from my camera, even if I don't have my dongle or hub with me.
Hmm.
So let's see what we got. Another comment here. Love to see 120 hertz
Yes.
refresh rate
Yeah.
screens.
Totally
Yeah.
agree. That's on my list too. Yeah. If they don't do that, that is a huge miss, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know why they can't. They did it on the iPad. Everyone else is doing it on every modern phone. So there's no reason they shouldn't be able to do it. It does affect the
Yeah.
battery, but the performance is it's just so much better.
Right. All right. So
So
talking
they're
iPad
opening with
now.
iPad. Yeah.
If my
So do you which iPad do you have? The just the regular
I've got the
9.5?
2020 Pro,
Okay. Okay.
and I use it with the Magic Keyboard and the pencil, and it is really my computer. The MacBook that I have is a 2017 MacBook Pro, whatever the 15-inch I think is what they were sizing them then. And the only thing I use that for is what I'm doing right now, live streaming to run Ecamm software.
Hmm.
And then I also use it for the presentation software that we use in our church called Proclaim, because their
Yeah.
iPad app won't let you edit. It'll only let you control or view.
Yeah.
Crazy. Logos needs to get with the
Yeah.
program on that.
I know. I'd be the first one in line to say we need that. I'd pay extra for it actually,
Yeah, I mean, my
or
iPad is
a web
basically is
version.
my main computer. It's my daily computer.
Is it the iPad with the trackpad too? Do you have the trackpad on that one,
Yeah, you've got the
or
Magic
the case
Keyboard.
with the trackpad?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
nice.
it's pretty pricey, this keyboard.
Yeah, I know.
But when you compare the price of the device and the keyboard, it's still cheaper than a MacBook, and it does more.
Yeah,
The ability to just take it off and do handwriting, and I use it in church to take notes. I preach from it. I
yeah.
use it for as a teleprompter during my podcast. It's just my everything device.
Hmm. So let's see. There, it looks like they're about ready to announce something from the iPad. I love their videography is just amazing. The way they
The
do.
fly-throughs are impressive. Yeah.
I mean, the fly through is incredible. It's amazing. Packed
So is
full
this
of
just a new
updates, Larry.
chipset in the iPad? Is this what they're talking about? The
There you go.
A13?
A13, yeah, yeah. And it's impressive. The Apple processor is incredible. I have an iPad Mini that I'm running off right now, and it is by far the best computer I've ever had. And I have two screens. I've got probably 20 windows open. Not a
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Yep.
Little dig
So
there
I'd be
to
interested.
Chromebooks.
We've got some people watching on the live stream. I'd be interested. Those of you who are watching, do you
Yeah,
have what's your configuration? Do you have the Apple event up on a separate device, and then you're watching us on your phone or your iPad? How are you doing it? And how's this working? Because this is the first time we've done this. I'd love to make it.
yeah. We don't. We wanted to push the stream and actually let you hear it. Where we heard that you can get banned. So that's why we didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just block it. So have you been
I
running
didn't
the
install it.
iOS?
What's that?
Oh, really? The
Go
iOS
ahead.
beta? I was going to ask
No,
if you
no, I
installed the
haven't
iOS
installed
beta.
it.
You said no. So I have it
I
on my
usually do,
iPhone
but I
as my
didn't this
daily
time.
driver,
Say that
and
again.
it's pretty good. That I have it on my iPhone as my daily driver, and it's pretty good. I love the live text. It's being able to take a picture, which you could do this in Android for years, but being able to take a picture and highlight on the phone and copy and paste it or tap and go to a phone, that's pretty slick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. I was going to say about the SD slot on an iPhone when you were thinking that was the recommendation. That sounds like an Android route.
Yeah,
Speaking of Android, Android will try. That's the other thing. Android, the benefit to Android is they'll try anything, see what sticks to the wall, and then
yeah,
Apple
right.
does market research and takes whatever worked in Android,
Takes
does
forever.
it as best they
Yeah,
can, and then releases it.
yeah. I was talking to Brian yesterday about some of the things that are going to happen today, and we were joking about how when Apple, I mean, you and I probably had the first Apples when they came out too, right? You had Apple Gen 1. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
iPhone Gen 1.
yeah,
Okay. So when it first came out, you couldn't copy and paste. You couldn't install apps. There was no apps. Everything was web based.
yeah.
So uh, it's just funny how, and it was a long time before you could copy and paste. A long
It
time
was. Yeah,
because they didn't have what they wanted to be an experience of copy and paste. It had to have been a year or two. I don't know
yeah.
what the timing on that, but it was painful.
Hey, I just got a note from YouTube. Unfortunately, our content violates spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy.
So
So I'm in record only
no
mode
sharing.
apparently.
Oh, well, there's
So
still two people on. I see. Is that
yeah, interesting. I'm gonna go over to on my phone and see if we're still broadcasting
oh
there.
to
Yeah.
me? Jackie said it just got banned.
Yep. I think it's because we're
Huh.
showing the Apple up in the top.
Interesting. So they're good about that.
Yeah.
So
Let's
how do we
see.
get around that?
I don't know. Uh, let's see. Let's see. I guess we just remove your camera. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let me see if I can end this stream and go live again.